We open this very chilly DLC with a view of Nora Freeze, and Mr. Freeze, who then walks away to give us a title screen. We are in Wayne Manor at a New Year's Eve party where Ferris Boyle is accepting his Wayne Foundation Humanitarian of the Year award, and this dude runs Goth Corp as well, and it seems like Bruce Wayne heavily endorses this guy. Alfred directs Boyle away to the press, and this is when our MC starts to call Wayne a broke-ass bum, but then the room starts to look like Alaska, and a big-ass frost explosion goes off, sending the partygoers across the big-ass ballroom. Some dudes with guns walk in and start holding all the party people hostage, where then here comes big-ass Mr. Freeze, where he punches this dude into the air and turns him into an ice sculpture. Freeze demands Ferris Boyle, and this is when Bruce decides to walk away and tries to contact Alfred about Boyle's location, but there is no answer. Bruce gets whopped in the face by one of Freeze's men. Meanwhile, Alfred smacks one of the goons with a fire poker and then gets a face slammed on his old noggin. Bruce disarms the guard and whoops his ass, and then proceeds to beat the shit out of the other henchman. Bruce helps Alfred off the ground, and Alfred is a fucking G and he's all good, and he tells Bruce to go suit up. Bruce runs into Vicky Vale, and Bruce ignores her question and asks where Boyle is, and Vicky says he never made it to the interview. Bruce gets to the library and has to sneak around all these armed guards, where he then heads to the wine cellar, but not for Josh Wine, but he then drops down and takes out some more guards. Bruce gets to the tasting room and heads down to the super secret entrance to the Batcave and looks at the XE suit, but it is not ready to deploy, so he suits up in his normal bat suit. Batman heads back to the library, but we see a bunch of armed goons who have taken Alfred hostage. Batman pulls this guy off a platform and goes saves the civilians by moving the Wayne family crest off the door. One of the civilians hears Boyle through the door, and it looks like the guards are ready to kill him. Batman throws some batarangs and gets Boyle unhanded and starts whooping ass. Batman goes to save Boyle, but around the corner comes Mr. Freeze, who freezes Batman in place encased in ice. Freeze forces Boyle to walk with him, and then Batman starts beating the shit out of the backup goons. Batman heads through the door and sees a chopper fly away. Batman interrogates another goon's life to inquire the location of Freeze, where he says that one of the Penguin's dealers that he was supposed to meet with is in South Gotham. Batman zooms over in the Batwing, where he finds a police officer encased in ice from one of the dealt cryo guns. Batman notices the cryo stuff leakage and starts following the detective mode, where Batman tells Alfred to heat up the XE backsuit. Batman finds Penguin's dealer, and he tells Batman that Penguin made a deal with Freeze, which was weapons in exchange for Ferris Boyle. Batman refuses that Gothcorp makes weapons, and he steals Gothcorp's access codes from the dealer. Batman enters Gothcorp and takes out some dudes and talks to the security guard, where he directs Batman into the propellant service wing where they have taken Ferris Boyle. Batman heads into the organics lab, where after a Predator sequence he acquires the Gothcorp security codes from another guard. Batman gets to the propellant lab, where two of the Penguin snipers and Mr. Freeze are having a shootout. Penguin is holding Boyle hostage for the weapons that Freeze promised him, and Batman breaks up Penguin's party and they all start firing, but they have terrible aim, and then Mr. Freeze freezes all of the guards and Penguin. Freeze grabs Boyle out of the ice and takes him hostage. Batman tries to interfere, but Freeze makes an ice wall and Batman is trapped behind. Penguin is stuck in the ice, and he tells Batman that Boyle has the codes to a super weapon inside Gothcorp, and Penguin tells Batman of a cryo drill that will get him through the ice and Penguin can escape. Penguin says that he took the drill for safekeeping at my alibi bar. Batman heads back into Gotham and finds a drop, where he then gets into the exothermal batsuit, which is basically Mr. Freeze's suit as a batsuit, which can heat up environments. Batman gets to my alibi all dripped out in his new suit and beats up a bunch of Penguin's men. Batman accesses a private room and runs into a familiar face in the form of Loose Lips from the original game. Batman asks, "Where are they?" And Loose Lips says that they were split into parts. Batman eventually retrieves all the cryo drill parts, and Batman notices that the drill needs a superconducting fluid to operate. Alfred says that the supercoolant is held in an experimental lab by one Victor Freeze inside of Gothcorp. Batman gets to the organics lab once again and sees that it is full of cryo vapor. Batman is able to access the mainframe and hack that shit, so then we can walk in without being in a Silent Hill game. Batman finds the weapon testing lab and sees a man whose skin has turned completely blue. Batman sets up a crime scene and determines that Freeze was doing experiments on the disease Huntington's chorea, with the subject being Nora Freeze, his wife. Ferris Boyle had hired Freeze to advance the secret cryoweapons program within Gothcorp, and Boyle would agree to help Freeze with finding a cure for Nora. Boyle actually more gave a shit about how Nora was put into cryostasis, though. Freeze realized that Boyle wasn't going to go through with his end of the bargain, so Freeze did his own research. A big-ass explosion occurs, which causes Victor to become Mr. Freeze, and Boyle was able to escape ahead of the gas plume and quarantine the lab. Victor survived, and he built a suit and utilized the supercoolant to keep his internal body temperature at sub-zero. Victor did all of this to save his dying wife. W husband, by the way. Batman picks up a sample of the supercoolant that he needs for the cryo drill back at the propellant lab. Batman finds Penguin's men trying to blowtorch him out of the ice, but it is not working, and Batman dispatches of all of Penguin's losers. Batman tells Penguin he ain't getting out of the ice, and it's not Batman's problem if he freezes to death. Batman uses the cryo drill and breaks through the ice, where he then goes to apprehend Mr. Freeze. Batman gets into the weapons testing lab through a vent, and Freeze tries to take a shot, where Batman tells him that he knows what really happened and he says Boyle will pay for his crimes. Freeze isn't having it and tosses Boyle into a container and tries to shoot Batman with his gun again. Freeze is going batshit insane to want to save his wife, and he is very vengeful to Boyle, as Nora will never get to feel Freeze's warm skin ever again, but will feel an ice-cold touch as cold as his heart. Batman disables some cryogenic reactors, which wears down Mr. Freeze, and he takes out all of Penguin's hired Freeze goons. Batman hops up through some glass and straight pulls him through like Kane and Seth Rollins. Batman throws him through an ice wall and mollywops Freeze with an exothermal punch to the face. Boyle thanks Batman for taking out Freeze, but he wants to leave behind no evidence. Batman pushes Freeze out of the way and gets encased in ice by Boyle. Freeze is powerless and Boyle rips off a piece of his suit and tells Freeze that Nora is going to die. Batman breaks out of the ice while Boyle beats down on Freeze with his suit part. Batman disarms Boyle and tells him to sit the fuck down. Batman apologizes to Freeze for not giving him peace, but he will give him justice as he puts in one of Freeze's super coolant hearts to save him. Freeze reaches out to his wife as we cut to black to end this DLC. Thank you guys for watching this quick little recap. I thought that this DLC had enough material to make a quick little video about to hold you over until Arkham Knight and Injustice 2. I'm also currently working on the first idiot recaps for TV shows and for movies as well, so stay tuned for that. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will talk to you all later.